Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. Day 344 of What's She Up To Now. What am I doing and how am I transitioning from the brick and mortar corporate world and real business world to the online business world? What am I doing and how am I doing it? Yesterday was kind of filled with technical snafus and figuring stuff out. As I record my Women's Business Summit interviews on Zoom, which is a platform, I thought it was saving them as MP3 and MP4 files. And lo and behold, as I was processing those folders and files yesterday for several of the first interviews that are already done, I discovered it was saving them as M3U or M4U or MU4 or some weird kind of type files that I'd never heard of. So I had to go about figuring out, problem solving, and transferring those to MP3 and MP4 files so I could use them and I could upload them to YouTube, so I could download them to my computer, so I could take the audio and I could share it on my podcast. So I'm putting it in my podcast platform as drafts, so I'm storing it in another place besides just on my hard drive and on my computer. So, you know, I've got a backup in case something were to happen to my computer. I don't lose those interviews. I don't lose that data. And then as I process those, and I will put those out as the summit goes live, I needed to start putting those little pieces and components in place. But I realized that sometimes there's always, not sometimes, always, no matter what we're doing, there's going to be stuff that comes up that we have to figure out. And for me, technological stuff, technology and things on the internet and online, it's really hard for me and it's really frustrating for me. But I have the philosophy, and I know that I'll always figure it out. I will always figure out a way to get what I want to get done, or a workaround. I'm sure I have some of the most non-elegant ways of doing things on the planet. And could I study? Could I take people's courses? Could I find an elegant, faster, easier way of doing some of this stuff? I absolutely am sure that I could. But that would require me taking time and energy from what I'm doing now and in my straight line path toward my peak, what I'm working on achieving. It would require me being sidetracked and learning details of things that I really don't need to know how to do. This first time through, I'll figure these things out. But next time, I won't be the one actually behind the scenes putting together all the pieces. I'll be the one doing the interviews. I'll be the one communicating with the speakers and getting them lined up and on board and things. But I won't be doing all the behind the scenes things like I'll record the interviews, but then I'll probably hand them off to somebody else that will actually do this processing part of it. It'll probably be somebody that knows how to do it a lot better than I do. But I have a philosophy that I won't ask anybody to do something that I'm not willing to do or figure out myself. Now, sometimes that slows me down, but it also gives me a much deeper understanding of what it takes to get a certain process or a certain job or a certain task done. And by understanding that, I understand how much I value not having to do it myself, and I'm willing to get somebody else to do it for me. So that was yesterday. Yesterday was a lot of that, and wasn't a super frustrating day. I've decided these days I don't get frustrated. I just keep telling myself I'm going to figure it out. Okay, well, if that didn't work, what else can I try? I did get a little bit miffed that I downloaded a software to do this transition and got into it, got it all downloaded on my computer with all their spammy nonsense and all their agreements, and lo and behold, it would only transfer half the file. It would only convert half the file unless you upgraded to their expensive software. And I'm like, yeah, totally not what I'm looking for. I've got I've got a handful of files I wanted to convert before I'll figure out a different way of saving them. I suspect that I can select MP3 and MP4 format as the way I save those files going forward. I just didn't realize that on the settings for Zoom when I was saving the files. So it just saved to their default way of doing it. And I had to create some workarounds to figure out how to make it happen. And of course I did, because I always do. I always figure that out. What I ended up doing was I took the Zoom replay file, uploaded that to YouTube, and then I didn't have to strip out the MP3 because you get an audio file separately, but I uploaded that to YouTube and then saved it as a YouTube unlisted video. So I've got the videos available in a backed up place. And then I did the audio file. I'm trying to think, how did I end up doing that? The audio files. The audio files, I don't know. I think I saved them as MP3s instead of M3Us or whatever. And then they uploaded to my Libsyn podcasting platform. And so I put those in draft form. So by the time I'm done structuring the summit, I'll have at least 30 different video files on YouTube, in unlisted, so I can keep them. And then I can publish them on the day of the summit, days of the summit. And then I'll have 30 audio files as well in the podcast, and I can take them from draft to publish mode then again on the day of the summit. And I can release them at certain times, which is what I really like about Libsyn. I can schedule out the release time for each of those podcast episodes. So people can listen to them audio, just on the audio on the podcast via the platform, or they'll be able to watch the video on YouTube. Because I like video. I like to be able to see the people I'm talking to. And you can see all my funny faces and the dumb questions I ask and what the heck I happen to be wearing on any given day, because you never know. Guess what? I'm not always in my pajamas. Sometimes I'm dressed. Amazing. Pretty casually and comfortably, but I am dressed. So what are you working on right now? It's almost the last day of the year. So what are you planning for next year? What have you got that you're excited about? Share in the comments below, because this pajamagram would love to know. And if there's any way, shape, or form I can help you, let me know that as well by messaging me. And I will do what I can do, or I will connect you with who you need to be connected with to make what you want to happen in your life and in your businesses happen. That's it. Have a fantastic day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Pajamagram out.